You'll have heard over the last, not quite 24 hours, but thereabouts, the announcement that the Lingus College Football Series is coming back to Dublin next year. And I'm delighted to say Paraic O'Kane from the Irish American events is one of the driving forces behind it and joins us on the line. Morning, Paraic.
Morning, how are you?
A great 24 hours. Obviously, you've had a little bit more advance notice than that, but Nebraska Northwestern next year, it's been a great week, news week for you.
Yeah, look, it's take three obviously in the series. We've lost 2020, we've lost 21, and it was good to see footage coming in. I think we launched in the States Irish time yesterday. The teams were told at 4 o'clock, and the games were announced here and in the States at 4:30. But to see the Northwestern team last night with Pat Fitzgerald when it was announced live to them, it made it all worthwhile. These are young men who have an opportunity to now go look forward to this in 22 and move forward. And same with Nebraska. We got to know the lads very well because they were meant to be involved in 21. Coach Frost has updated their guys. And it's great. We're delighted. We're delighted that Nebraska we could fit them into a schedule or work around their schedule more to the point. It didn't work out in Illinois. Hopefully they'll come back in one of the future years. But to have Nebraska, we built the relationships. It's ironic we had them here in February of 2020. With a team of 12 in the moment. We're in deep planning. Little did we know what was going to happen a month later, etc. But at least we had that opportunity to build with them and drive this on. So and they were selling extremely well. They're an unbelievable team. They come from one of the cardinals of college football. They have a stadium that has a capacity of 85,000 people, and they've consecutively sold it out up to COVID since 1962. So I think that's 325 times. So we're definitely going to see a red here next year with Nebraska, and Northwestern won't be too far behind them. You mentioned about 20 and 21 of the cancellations. Were you concerned at any point that it was going to be really difficult to reignite the series? Yeah, and look, it was because we're working. Please God, the 23 game now will launch at the back end of August of this year, and we get back into the 2-year cycle. So we're already working in 24 and 25 the way the fixture lists work. So it was there was a lot of movements to move this game around. We were fortunate with Northwestern. I met Pat Fitzgerald, the coach over there, I think about 2017 with John Anthony, and they wanted to do it. It's called the Ryan Stadium. Pat Ryan is a trustee over there, with a great Irish American, the founder of Aon Insurance. They really wanted to do it, and it just worked for us. They've had a fabulous year last year. Northwestern won the Northern Division of the Big Ten, which is great for a smaller school, if you want to call it, certainly in football in numbers. So to get them to move things around, Nebraska to move things around, it's fabulous. But we're under pressure too, and we'll maintain under pressure because the likes of Northwestern giving up a home game. They'll come under certain pressure from their local economy because they've obviously missed out on a season of football or a restricted year. So there's different pressures on us to get the games over the line, both financially, logistically, and post-COVID. What does that mean from a stadium point of view and moving people? So we're delighted that we got it over the line with two amazing teams. We've two amazing teams announced in August as well, and we're chatting to some good ones as well. So I think we're back on track, thank God. Yeah, we won't push you for an answer on those ones just yet. We'll come back to that maybe a little bit down the track as to who else might be potentially coming down the track. What about the movement of people, Paraic? I think that like everybody over the last 15 months has kind of been looking at their travel practices. Is there any concern in relation to people's appetite to get back on planes and get over? I mean, it might look like a daft conversation in a few months' time when everybody kind of goes back to the way we were, but have you been discussing that or any concerns about it? Yeah, look, it's more than crossed our minds, and we've had conversation in the States and here. There's a number of things there, I suppose. If you take the signs are positive. You take vaccination program here and in the States, we're definitely going in the right direction. Nebraska, for example, they had their spring game on May 1st and had 40,000 people in the stadium, and 2 weeks later, thankfully, all went well, etc. They plan to have a full season back at full capacities in stadium from this September in college football season over there. So, fans are getting back in the stadium. We're going to have to work with best practice. From getting them here could be a slightly different trick here. Thankfully, we have an amazing partner in Lingus, our title partner. But by August of next year, they'll certainly be fully back in play in relation to connectivity. Will some of the other airlines who have cancelled their flights for this year and next year come into Dublin be back by 22? That's questionable. So people may need to go into mainland Europe and back in, as we've seen in 2012 and what was happening in 2020. So there's certainly going to be pressures on, and we're not naive. We've got safety messages to get out over there. We launched a new website with it yesterday, and we'll focus on safety and Ireland's record and stuff like that. And we're working closely then with the stadium in relation to watching what will be best practice, what will be the new norm within a stadium at full capacity or close to full capacity. We would think we're about 48,000 is our hope. So look, there's challenges ahead of us, but if we didn't plan and we didn't get out with this game, as you know, we like to get 2 years out and do all the work out of it. We're getting out 15 months ahead of it this time, so we have a lot of work to do. Initial reaction on sales yesterday in travel and hospitality packages are very positive. And we had with Nebraska, we had a lot of move forward from 21, and the vast majority of them have stayed. So the initial reaction is positive.
Okay, well, that's good news. And one last one. I think football fans particularly would want to know how, the competitiveness of the game and the Keoghan Naughton Trophy. Which way is your sense of which way it's going?
So I think we probably have the most competitive game of college football coming into Ireland. Probably one of the most competitive games of American football ever to come onto these isles. Coach Frost in Nebraska are a powerhouse. They have 5 national champions, etc. They're going through a lean plays. Coach Frost in there since 2017. He's a former NFL player. He's a former quarterback of the school. He's a legend. This year is meant to be a good year for them, etc. They've had good recruitment, etc. So they need to go. They need to move. Coach Fitzgerald. Pat Fitzgerald, who is dying to get to Ireland, a good Irish American, speaks a few words of Irish, etc. Has never been there, so we're going to do something about that at the first year. He's had a fantastic season, winning the Northern Division of the Big Ten, which is not simply done. So we've 2 young coaches, 2 good teams that are rated, coming head to head. Which of them? It's funny, Northwestern have given up their home game, and it probably has given advantage a little bit to Nebraska because it will be a sea of red. They probably will outsell Northwestern in Dublin, but with all the Irish connection and Chicago, Northwestern being Chicago's Big Ten team, I think the Irish will probably get behind Northwestern from that angle. So very hard to call. We'll see how the season goes. We're 1 season ahead of that, so we'll get a feel for it when the Big Ten conference gets back in play in September. And hopefully, though, what we think we're looking at here is a very competitive, close game.
Yeah, we hope to be speaking with some of those US involvements over the next few weeks as well. Paraic, thanks a million for giving us all those details.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot, Paraic O'Kane there from Irish American Events. 27th of August next year, Aviva Stadium. It's Nebraska against Northwestern, and Paraic mentioned the brand new website there, collegefootballireland.com is the place to go for more details on ticketing and everything else you need to know about that game. It is nearly 8:55 on this Friday morning.